What is going on, Stonebladers? We are going to be on the play against black-green depths. Now, I personally love playing against decks like this, not only because we are highly advantaged, in my opinion, but mostly the Stoneblade deck that we create, or at least I play, you get to utilize a lot of the cool functions of the cards, even though sometimes they don't seem like they would do well against them. I guess you'll see as it plays out. There's going to be a lot of interesting play. There's going to be some funny moments in this one, some oopsie-daisies moments, maybe from me, maybe from my opponent. You're going to have to stick around to find out. But either way, I love this hand. We've got plenty of mana. Okay, first turn is going to be Ponder. I didn't know who we were playing against in terms of what they were on, so I can't openly Ponder. In case they, say did a turn 1 Blood Moon, a turn 1 Chalice, I always have Force of Will protection. So we're going to be playing first, and then we're going to be playing an island, because we want to save our fetches for when we want to shuffle. And let's play Ponder. Okay, so like I said, I'm not really sure who I'm going to be up against, so this isn't the worst in the world. Having Spell Pierce is another great way to, have some interaction depending on who we're playing against. So I decided to pretty much do Island, I think Flooded Strand and Spell Pierce. Or Flooded Strand, okay, so I'd be drawing that next turn, that's fine. There's also some merit to keeping the Spell Pierce in your hand. Maybe if they were playing Storm, they'd probably take your Force or your Counterspell, and then they wouldn't know that you had a Spell Pierce. But if you wanted to force something on turn 1, Spell Pierce might also be a good idea to pitch to. Okay, that's not fine. Okay, I spoke too soon, so I actually wanted to Force of Will this. The reason is because I saw what's coming up in my hand. We're going to have to wait one more turn. We're going to get our Spell Pierce. And right now I don't have any way with dealing with creatures. As we saw a different game where it sucks when you don't have any removal. I'm playing to the strength of my hand because when I counter this, pitching Snapcaster, next turn I have Counterspell for anything they want, or I can use Spell Pierce. So that plays much better into my hand. Despite the fact that I'm 2 for 1ing myself, this is simply to keep them off the combo because as you can see, once this is on pretty much the table, we don't really have any way to interact with it unless we have Back to Basics. And given the fact that they have Mox, Diamond, and Forest, and they're pitching a Plains, Back to Basics might not be all that helpful. So in theory, that looks like a really, like from the opponent's side, they're like, sure, you want to 2 for 1 yourself? Be my guest. But from our standpoint, it was the better decision to make. Okay, so Polluted Delta here. Remember, these can crack for plains or islands, so we want to save those because ideally I'm going to want to most likely crack this for an island for Counterspell. We can also Spell Pierce something if needed. Sure, definitely. Spell Snare here would be nice, but this was definitely a Counterspell. Once again, I want to keep the board clear. This is just kind of the game that I play, drag it on, and unfortunately I have a ton of mana in my hand. This can obviously hit like a Green Suns or maybe something else they want to play, but for the moment we have it in our hand and that's what we're going to do with it. Okay, it's not a bad draw. Flooded Strand, go. See, like this is the perfect time for Teferi, bounce Mox Diamond. I love plays like that. Okay, nothing. This is beautiful. I like that, because them playing creatures isn't good for us. Okay, let's play out all of our lands, or get all of our lands. I believe here was a Flooded Strand. Yep. So I can get white if needed. Okay. Seems like they're flooding as well, except they actually got something going on. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to Force of Will this, I believe, simply for the fact that if I don't draw any type of removal, that's not going to be good. Spell Pierce probably isn't going to be doing all that much. If they had a Green Suns, they might have just cast that. So easy Force of Will. I've 2 for 1 myself twice now, but it's simply just to keep myself from having a clean board and not really having to worry about anything else. Because before, remember, if Reclaimer was there, they would have done some fun with that. Teague is whatever, but these cards can still pressure, and of course, Elvish Reclaimer can build up to the combo with Depths. This is really good. I like lands. I don't think I played a land here. Nope. I didn't want to bluff Force of Will. Okay. There's half of the combo. They're attacking. Guess something else. Crop Rot. Okay. Sure. Oh boy. So I actually sat here for a good amount of time thinking, like, the only way this will work is if they don't make Dark Depths at the end of my turn. And it's funny how I'm recording this game now, and the last game I played against, I talked about that, where there's been times where it's too bad Councils is in an instant, which can be with Teferi, but otherwise, you know, if they make this at the end of the turn, the Council's Judgment is pretty much just screwed, okay? So what I did here is actually play a Plains, and if you look at my time, it's at 23:19. I did take some time to think about this. Let's see what it was. Yeah, so about 20 seconds or so-ish, just to think about what I was going to do. I think I played a Plains here so I wouldn't have to crack twice. Okay, I didn't. That's fine. And they didn't do it. I'm like, oh my god, Bobo Baggins, you are not going to be one happy Bobo Baggins. Like, oh my god, they totally did it on their own turn. Oh, Bobo Baggins, what is going on? No, Bobo Baggins, don't do it. Damn you, Bobo Baggins! Actually, damn you. You did the right thing. You're allowing me to stay in the game. Oh, and I draw swords to go with it. Bobo Baggins. MVP. I'm sorry, Bobo Baggins. It's just really funny how the game panned out, and the fact of the matter that I should have lost there. But either way, what I want to do here is play a Plains and crack a Flooded to get a Plains as well. Because that way, in case I need to sword something else, just draw 2 awesome cards off the top, despite the fact I should have lost at the end of my turn. Let's Councils so we don't give him life. Let's carry on my Wayward Son. We are now back in this game. That was awesome. Thank you, Bobo Baggins. This is great. I like this. Oh, but they've got another Dark Depths. And what else did they... Oh, Giver of Runes. I believe I plowed this because if I don't plow this now, my plow is going to be rendered useless later. So end of turn, let's make sure they don't play anything else, right? Nothing else. Then we want to crack. Crack. Okay, I did it over here. Okay, that's actually not bad. I'm glad I did it that way because now I have more cards to look for. So anyway, let's do Brainstorm. I think the reason why I didn't do it there is because I have so much mana that it wouldn't matter if I did it on my turn or not. And oh my goodness, we are finding cards that we never found before, and this is really good. So what I like here, Force of Will, let's see, they can, even if they crop rotation, that's green, sacrifice 1, they wouldn't be able to do the combo. So here what I like is Plow, Plow, Narset, because when I play this, I will have blue, blue, white, and I will have 2 open for my swords. This actually works perfectly, so it doesn't matter the order we put them back, so we're shuffling away. So it's Force of Will and Polluted Delta on top. You can crack that. Narsetto. Please hit a card. Okay, Force of Will is better than nothing. We'll take it. Now let's Plow, Giver of Runes. And we are slowly creeping back into this game. Despite the fact Bobo Baggins just made a big oopsie daisy. Our Sorcery Speed Council's Judgment did very well. Okay, so they're attacking Narset. That's fine. I don't care that they can't draw cards unless they have a library, Sylvan Library, so we're so using this by Narset, and if it gets us a card, okay, well, at least it pitches to a Force of Will, so we'll take that gladly, and we'll tell them to go. Now we can actually hardcast Force. We have this for quite a few cards, like they have Gaddock Teague. They probably have a few others that we can use it on, so that's not bad. I don't know how many 2-drops they have. I don't think they play Tarmogoyf, from what I know. Like, it's a possibility. You could just randomly throw it in there. All right, so they're playing more than green and black. They have white too. Okay, so that's noted. Forgot to mention that. I think I thought it was just in the beginning green black. Anyway, we're not swordsing that dude. This is actually, well, it's not great. They've shown that they actually like fetching basics. So high five to Bobo Baggins. Still didn't forget about how you didn't, make the combo at the end of my turn. It's allowed me to still be here. I'd like this. Anyway, so it's not the greatest card, but I can pitch it to back to basics. This can get merit, can see some use if they end up casting a green sun for 1, 2, 3, 4. Because then this doesn't count as a mana. So either way, we're not doing anything. I don't want to play that. I would rather be able to hard cast Force of Will here. Okay, so now they have the combo, but we do have a swords to extend this game even more. right, let's move to our turn. Okay, here I do definitely want to ponder. I'm not too worried about hard casting Force of Will. If I was worried about that, then it's not a big deal. I'll just pitch something to it. So ponder. Ooh, this is actually really good because Jace, should they choose to use this at sorcery speed, Jace will be great for bouncing. But here what I wanted to do is Volk, Jace, Flooded Strand. Now, I was actually thinking about when I was doing this, I'm like, I want to at least play my land drop because when I start using Jace, that'll be 4 mana, and then I'll at least have 3 more to use, so I could use like a Council's Judgment with it if I get it, do some other funky stuff. So I did do Volk, Jace, and Flooded Strand. However, it probably would have been best to do just Volk, Flooded Strand, and Jace, because by playing Flooded Strand, if the person thinks that for some odd reason I'm stashing a card up on top, all they have to do is wasteland this, and then, you know, I'd either have to fetch and lose that, but I think if they wastelanded it, I would just let it go based upon, you know, what I've done here. So now they're like, all right, Bobo Baggins is like, crap, I can't believe I made that horrible decision. Now they're doing it at the right time. And for some odd reason, I can't plow the Dark Depths. Like, do I need an extra end step? Do I not get to interact with that? Because usually, like, once it's in play, wait for it. Like, shouldn't I get an opportunity to be able to plow it here? Like, am I missing something? It says stop on opponent's turn, or maybe yield until here. I think that's maybe what I need to do because I wasn't allowed to plow it right there, which I wanted to do. So instead, I set a stop on my opponent's upkeep. So I think I might have maybe hit a switch on that. Like, I'll test it out either way because I should be able to interact with that. And Merit Lage can go farming. See what I mean? Wasteland, okay? If they wasted this, I probably would have just said, hey, take your trade. That's fine. And now we can really start turning the corner. Really start turning the corner. Okay, so when it comes to tapping, let's see. It could do 3 blue, because it's very important. Like, the cards that I get could matter. I guess if I get a Council's Judgment, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And even if I do tap 2 planes, I can get 1 here. So it can go either way. I'm thinking it's island, plains. Let's see. Okay, triple island plains, that's fine. Because either way, this can be for blue, that can be for white. That makes sense. That works too. Let's see what we got. Okay, not a whole lot, actually. Probably these 2 are going back. Although I think for some odd reason I threw the Volk back in one of the blue cards, which in hindsight, I'm like, I don't think I want to Ponder because I can get Brainstorm live. So it's Volk. I think I threw Ponder back. Oh no, it was a different blue card. I threw back Spell Pierce. Looking at it right now, I think keeping a blue card is much better than the extra mana given the amount of mana I have. So I didn't want to Ponder. Excuse me, I didn't want to Ponder there because I wanted to keep up Spell Snare. They can bite me like a little mosquito. Jace is going down to 2. That's fine. What do you got? Okay, so I know it's on top of my library, which means I can fetch and get rid of it. And then I have a lot of options. So I felt like maybe I would Force of Will something that could matter even more. Like, I have a Ponder to look for cards. If I don't find something, I can always bounce it with Jace. So I thought about Force of Willing this one. I chose not to, even though I can like easily do this with this. They've been playing very well. Like, aside from the fact that they did the sorcery speed, Dark Depths. Sorry, Bobo, I'm just not going to let you forget about that one. They have been playing their basic lands very well, especially into a deck that has back to basics. So while we all make mistakes, they are certainly doing this very well. Let me tell you that, Bobo Baggins. Anyway, I hope Bobo Baggins watches this. It was a fun game. It was, as you can tell. So I don't think I forced that. I'm like, I have Jace, I have Ponder. Let me find other ways to deal about it. And I wanted to save this maybe for like a crop rotation or something else funky. Main deck choke, you never know, right? Get that island. Okay, and that's really good because if I bounce this, at least this can block this so it doesn't attack. Even if I do bounce that, this will only attack it for 1 damage. Anyway, let's Ponder first. And actually, this wasn't that bad. I really like this. So what I did here was just Arid Mesa, Polluted Delta, Jace, or the other way around. I'm planning on shuffling anyway, because this means that now I can bounce this dude, I can play Stoneforge, and then like I can draw 3 next turn and look for more. And then what I can do is just really bounce that guy, and if I needed to, I could just bounce and play Jace again. So this is just another way of controlling the board as opposed to looking to draw 3 that way. So let's return that. Let's play Stoneforge. And I want to get Batterskull here. I want to start getting my life up. Just in case, you know, they do get a Merit Lage, there's always that aspect that once they attack me, eventually I can bounce it. I talked about that in the previous game I played as well. And now we're actually going to Force of Will It. Back to Basics should be the easy pick here. Yes, okay. So I didn't do it the first time, but we just got some good tempo out of it. And now Stoneforge is going to protect the house. Okay, we don't want the 2 lands we had. Plains. So all my plains are gone, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that 4 islands? So I should have 2 more or so. Let's Brainstorm. Not the greatest cards in the world, so Volk is definitely going back. Let's see what else we got. Blue cards are great. Force of Will is definitely needed. This is needed. If anything, and then Snapcaster is actually really good. We have Snapcaster Counterspell, we have Snapcaster Sword, so that's definitely staying. So I actually think here was Volk and Ponder. If not Volk and Ponder, then Volk and Snare, although Snare can definitely hit some nice cards, like Gaddock, if they have another one. I'm not sure if they play 2, but if that got through, I couldn't force anything, so it's definitely going to be this. And then actually, I don't think it matters, Ponder, because there's no shuffle. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and I have ways of dealing with that. Swords, which I'm planning on doing. So, I believe first and foremost, I wanted to Snapcaster. I want to get rid of this because it can pretty much get a, it can get the combo. It can get Dark Depths. It can get Thespian Stage. Okay, let's plow that. Let's Batterskull this. Wow, talk about a momentum shift now that we've got Jace live. Okay, so first and foremost, I think I just wanted to Brainstorm, although I think I knew one of the top cards, 1 or 2. Yeah, it was that crap. So once again, I wanted to make sure I actually had enough mana to cast everything. I know Volk's going on top and then something else after that. So what I wanted to do here was pretty much play a True-Name, and that was going to be it. So Volk and probably Ponder or a island, one of those. Okay, so it was the island. Yeah, I don't think I needed any more mana. I didn't want to attack with this just in case they had... Actually, that wouldn't make sense. I was thinking that I had to tap, so I probably could have tapped with Stoneforge. It is 1 life. I don't think it's going to make that big of a deal, but you never know. It's sometimes chipping away. I would rather be cautious, but I forget that Batterskull doesn't need to tap, so I literally have 3 creatures back. Plus, I'm playing True-Name, so it's not like they're going to be getting in the way here. And they conceded. Okay, so next turn I was pretty much going to attach the Batterskull to True-Name and just, you know, hammering away. That was a fun game in my opinion. Probably not so much for my opponent. That really cost them big, allowing me to use a Sorcery Speed Council's Judgment. And from there, I clawed my way back in, just countering some interesting things. That game definitely turned out to be very interesting, especially in the beginning when I Force of Willed 2 of their creatures. But either way, we still got the best of it. We ended up winning, which is always great. Let's move to the sideboard and we can talk a little bit about what we can bring in. All right, so they're playing green, black, white depths pretty much. Okay, so Path to Exile is a given. Spell Snare, I'm not sure what else they really have except Teague. So I don't think I brought it in. Surgical, like I said, I really want to get rid of one of these. I'm not finding myself using them all too much. You can definitely bring in one just to kind of snipe away a Dark Depths. That takes away one way of winning. This can be used. I don't think they play Chalice because they play Crop Root. So, I mean, for their Mox Diamonds, not really. Rest in Peace is great. Disenchant in case they have Choke. This can be brought in. in case they have Green Sun Zenith. I don't think I saw one the first game, so I don't think I brought it in for that specific reason, but either way, that's definitely a good card to bring in if they have that. Then we have Back to Basics, and we have Force of Negation, and possibly Clique. Either way, let's take out these. Let's take out Narset. I probably took out a Snare. I think one Pierce, and the last one was going to be something. Let's see. Yeah, so one more. Or maybe there was one card I didn't use. I think it was Surgical I didn't use. So it was pretty much going to be these coming in and these coming out. Spell Pierce can have some value. I still like keeping it in. It's a little sneaky card. I can almost always find a way to get value out of it, despite the fact games can go longer, unless it was that last one, but it definitely helps when they're casting spells like Choke, I know, Sylvan Library in the beginning, Green Sun Zenith, and stuff like that. Either way, it's not the greatest card in the world, so you probably could take it out, but I believe this is how I sideboarded, bringing in these cards. You can simply change it around due to your playstyle and so on and so forth. But either way, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing for game number 2. So let's move to that. All right, Bobo Baggins, we're on to number 2. Game number 2. First and foremost, we're on the play. I like this hand. First turn, I am certainly not pondering. Second turn, we'll find out. But either way, we have land, we have a ponder, we have Spell Snare. I think, apparently I kept one in. Like I said, my sideboarding is not always set in stone. So I probably just had one, though. Let me look at my sideboard. View sideboard. Let's see. Yeah, so I did only have one. I did only have one Spell Pierce. I took out both Narsets. I didn't have Containment Priest, although in this game they did show that they had, Green Sun Zenith, and I didn't keep any Surgical. So pretty much a lot of the things are similar. It was just one Spell Snare, and pretty much that's going to, another card came in for that. Either way, you get an idea of what it's all about. Let's keep this. Plus we have these in case they have Choke or some stupid Haymaker. This can counter, obviously, any card. This can... any non-creature spell, so we got that going for us. And they mulligan to 5, unfortunately. Well, to 6, because they played a card, so it's fine. Alright, so they didn't play anything on 1, which means we're going to play Island and Ponder, right? No, we're not. Just in case they want to play a 2-drop. Anything? Nothing. Okay. So there's actually a very aggressive line that you can use here. Pretty much what you do is you brainstorm, and the reason you want to do this is because you want to play Stoneforge Mystic next turn, and this is good because it allows you to at least look for lands, and in the same time when you play Stoneforge, it acts as a shuffle, despite the fact it's not the most maximum brainstorm, but if you're ever in an aggressive position, that's a good thing to do, okay? I didn't want to do that there. I believe I pondered here. Okay, excuse me, I didn't ponder here. There we go. I think that was too risky for me. Like, next turn I can still draw an island, and I wanted to keep up Spell Snare, because if I didn't ponder, if I pondered and I didn't hit a land, then I just have planes up, and I'm like, oh, great. Mana is a little kind of awkward at the moment. Okay, so I did want to brainstorm here because I want my mana. Okay, and we hit mana all right. So it's pretty much going to be only one card that I don't want back. So this is Island, well, this is Island Plains, and then we have pretty much Plains. I think I want, let me think about this. We definitely want this, and the card that's going to go on the bottom is probably going to be Arid Mesa. So I think it was Arid Mesa and then a land. Okay, it was Island. Okay, so I didn't want the island, that's fine. Now I can ponder after I shuffle. That makes sense, because now I have Island, Island, Plains, Plains. Okay, so Disenchant, Polluted Delta. I think I threw that back. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, there's another Polluted Delta. Now I'm going for Stoneforge. I'm like, all right, if they're not playing a 2-drop now, they probably might not be, so let's go with Stoneforge, get Batterskull. Let's kind of move this around. What do you got? 2 mana? X equals 1. Okay, so that probably going to be a... What's the Elvish dude? Yep. Elvish dude it is. So I have to keep in mind, now I'm mostly in like the digging scenario. Before I was like, all right, the game's kind of under control. Nothing's going crazy. They have half of their combo, and then next turn they can get the other half. So we're going to need to start doing some searching here. Not the greatest. This was something to actually keep in mind. First game, they showed that they were playing a lot of basics. Now this is pretty much just going to be food for one of those, which is fine. Here I want to ponder. We're looking for swords. We're looking for... Let's see, Snapcaster. There is no swords in the bin, so actually Snap isn't that bad because I could always Snapcaster Brainstorm, so I actually might have done that or I threw it back. Okay, so I did keep Snap. Cool. Polluted Delta, and go. So now what I can actually do, if I want, I can Force of Negation, hardcast something. I can Snap Brainstorm. I'd probably fetch first because I know the other cards and I don't want them, so then I would fetch, Snap Brainstorm, or of course I can put in Batterskull and start getting above 20 so I can at least take a hit from Merit Lage and then find more time to do what I need to. This was an interesting one, okay? So they didn't play a land, so either they're really good at realizing that they want to trick me, because I know obviously they're getting a, what's it called, a Dryad Arbor, but I put them on not having a land, so I actually chose to Force of Negation this. Ironically enough, like you might think it's a weird thing to do, but I decided to do that, and I pitched back to basics because I'm not getting a whole lot of use out of that, and I was correct. They did not have any other lands. So, come on. There we go. I actually chose to Brainstorm. Like I said, I was more interested in finding ways to get swords or any type, or a Path to Exile, whatever it's going to be. Excuse me. Let me take that back. It must have been the turn after. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Bobo Baggins, what are you doing? The fact that Bobo Baggins did this now means that I get to get a land. It gets to come into play tapped. And next turn I can suit up Stoneforge. So Bobo Baggins, you're killing me, but you're helping me. So you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Bobo Baggins. Let's get that island simply because I already have a plains here. Okay. What I want to do is play Polluted Delta. That will allow me to keep Spell Snare open, and then I'm going to equip Batterskull. And let's get above 20. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they already have one, and that's not getting them more land. So sure. There is a point eventually where I will Snapcaster and Brainstorm. I think it might be coming up. In fact, I don't think I played a land here because of that. Yeah. I do have a fetch here, and when I Brainstorm, that means I at least have 2 crappy cards that I can get rid of. So that was an important aspect there. Plus, I can actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 5 is all I need. I could actually Snapcaster Force of Negation if I want to. Okay, so now they have their land. And what are they getting for 1 here? I don't think anything too crazy for 1. Excuse me, 2. So it was a Spell Snare, sorry. Yeah, that was an easy Spell Snare. 1 + 1 = 2. So I didn't really care what they wanted to get. It probably would have been a Gaddock Teague, so that will at least allow me to play some Force of Wills, some Planesmakers. Did I say Planesmakers? It's been a long day. You know how it is. I can't tell you how many times I'll go over and watch like the recordings I do, and I'll say the completely wrong thing, but I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. Like the last recording, it was like, all right, I'm going to pitch Stoneforge to Force of Will when it was a Snapcaster. It's just like the funniest thing. Usually the more tired I get, the more blunders I have like that, which is, I find them hilarious. I'm sure you'll catch a lot of them. So anyway, Snapcaster Mage, Brainstorm. This is great because we have 2 cards that we can throw back, so should get some great value out of this. And we should get some great value out of this. Wow. Jeez, I mean, thanks, I guess. Like before, we didn't see a lot of lands. Now we see all of them. Okay, so anyway, we're going to want to put back our 2 basic lands here. Simply because we're going to be shuffling and getting them and putting them into play. So now that we have almost all of our lands, what we can do is draw more. Anyway, let's attack with Stoneforge. Okay, Arid Mesa. At this point in the game, I want to play lands to start cracking them because this is kind of getting insane. Like, I have all but one of my islands, and I have 2 more planes to get, and then I have Tundra. So I literally just want to... I'll still have I'll still have fetch lands where I'll be able to... Oh, they're blocking. You know, use them for cracking fetches and stuff and shuffling away. So what do they got? Oh, that's horrible. Split second. You are the bane to my existence. So I can't, unfortunately, do Batterskull tricks with that where I return it to my hand. Given split second, as long as this spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. So that's unfortunate. Nothing I can do about that. However, I might have just waited until I attacked to do that. Well, 1-2, 1-2. Wouldn't have been a big deal, I guess. So here I am actually thinning. One of the few times where I actually do that in games just because I have so many of them already. I mean, it's not the worst card in the world. I think I played an Arid Mesa or a Flooded Strand. Okay, that's fine. This can get either of them, so that's fine. Did I attack here? I don't think I did. I did. Okay. That makes sense. So let's think about it. This obviously can trade with this. And, you know, this can block this and nothing happens. So I wanted to try and get them off of having mana. And it didn't work. Okay, that's fine. We're definitely Force of Willing that. Hard cast. And they have a Veil of Bummer. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. They get an extra card out of it. They still get crop rotation, and we know what they're going to get. Probably Thespian Stage. They got it. So now they have, let's see, 1, 2. They do have the combo. And they're doing it now? Oh, my goodness. They're doing it now. Please. All right. Oh, Bobo Baggins. You're killing me, man. Okay, please draw a Council's Judgment just to make it extra sweet. A Council's Judgment, a Teferi, a Jace, anything just to bounce it and, you know, have some LOLs. I believe I also once again fetched here. I have plenty of life. Yeah. What did I have left? So what I get here? Probably a plains. No, I think island, because this can get plains and that can get tundra. Okay, that makes sense. Oh my god, a ponder. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have found the card that is not a land. Let's play it. Let's play it. Let's see what we got. Show me a Council's Judgment one time. Oh, they showed me more than a Council's Judgment. Okay, so Brainstorm, Swords, Council's Judgment. We want all of those. Oh my god, that's too funny. Bye. Okay, so I actually didn't play a land here just in case they wanted... Okay, I didn't play a land here and then I play a land. I was assuming that they weren't going to wasteland this. Actually, it didn't even matter, so that was a good thing that I did it. Because if they wasteland this, I just let it go. Like, I don't care. There's no... I can get 1 plains and I can always do it with that. Okay, so that's a fine move. Sure, I don't care about that because they already have 1. We want our swords. Like I said, these games are interesting. Here I didn't play a land, right? Okay, good. Once again, see, this is where I should have... I think I just need to have this on yield until... No, because I don't want to yield, right? Shouldn't I be able to interact to that at the end? Well, actually, this isn't the time, but if they had made Dark Depths there, I thought I should be able to swords that at the end, but I'll have to check that out. Okay, so... I didn't think about this quickly, and I'm like, crap. In hindsight, I should definitely Force of Will this, simply for the fact that I have to Swords of Will it. Swords of Will it? Does that make sense? I just literally combined Swords to Plowshares and Force of Will. Swords to Wills. Wow, that is a great new name. So, anyway, I think the correct play here is Force of Willing this, so that, like, because now if this lands, then I have to Swords this, and then I have to find something else. So, I hit 1 a little too quickly, So I'm letting Bobo come back into this. Either way, I mean, we have drawn almost all of our lands, right? Almost all of them. I am literally thinning. I have all the plains, all the islands, and one Tundra. I better not see that Tundra there. What do we got? Oh my god, that's awesome. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's actually think about this now. I am above 20 life, which is really good. Let's see, they have 1, 2. They actually can't do the combo yet. So what I can actually do, I can play True-Name, and then pretty much I'm going to get 2 attacks in before they get into attack. So as long as I don't Swords anything, I can just attack True-Name twice for the win. So that's what I want to do. And I still have plenty of mana for Force of Will should I want to do anything. So despite the fact I didn't Force of Will that, we still have a way of winning. It's just like you have to do the math here, because if you just Swords this, then they're on a 3-turn clock and you can lose. Oh, Bobo Baggins. Come on, man. Here he goes again. The Sorcery Speed Merit Lage. Okay, that's fine. See, the thing is now, it would be funny if I got a Council's Judgment. Oh my goodness. I really... This is even better. Like, I was trying to think if I could do something really tricky, like go to Swords this, and then like maybe they'll give it protection from white, maybe they'll give that protection from white, but then if they give that protection from white, then I can't bounce that. I'm like, that's too tricky. I'm not going to do anything, so I just attack the True-Name. And that's 20, 21. Plus 6 is 27. I can chump block these just to preserve life. I can even chump block and then plow one of these just to give myself... Actually, that wouldn't matter because there I got a 20-20. Getting in for 20. See, this is what I talked about. I've talked about this also in the previous game, which was funny why I played 2 Merit Lage decks. If they didn't have this... Getting above 20 is great. That's when Teferi and Jace both come into play, because you can just simply bounce this very easily. And they're like, oh, well, True-Name can just attack and win. And there we go. That was a very fun game against, let's see, we got white, green, black, depths, something like that. Either way, that was another one for the good guys. Made some interesting plays there. There was a few that I could have tightened up and done a little bit better. Bobo Baggins playing Sorcery, Speed, Merit Lages for the win. That was the real MVP. A round of applause for that. That allowed us to come back, especially in that first game. And that was crazy because we should have lost that. And then we went through this crazy ordeal of like Jace bouncing stuff. Tempo, Force of Willing stuff, Force of Willing some really weird cards where I 2-for-1 myself twice in that early game just to control the board. But either way, ended up working out very well. My voice is completely shot. That's about it. Thank you for watching. Have the best day ever.